out as the game goes on in that lane, at least in the laning phase, of course. We'll see. Acquire farm compared to the TA, who will kind of...
We'll be there with March on the Doom, and they have Van and, of course, Eris there on the Skywrath. Van playing that core Abaddon role, it seems. Shouldn't have too much of a hard time in this lane, farming up as the Abaddon. There's not really much that can shut him down, especially while he's got his Skywrath there. So speaking of the Skywrath, he has to be careful as that chain lightning that March has taken from the neutral creep does a hell of a lot of damage. But while we're talking about that, Jamesy does end up losing his life to Armel in the mid lane. But on the Doom. This top lane, Grimm's falling very low on the Elder Titan now. KP going up with Tibbs, and they do find the kill. Very nice play. The Void will be forced to time walk some damage off. Nando not having the greatest time in the world. Yanked up here, but Nando is there with Jamesy. They have the Chrono available. They want to kill off the CK. Oh, no. But that Chrono is not the one they needed, and March won't mind dying for that.
Not ideal. We always talk about that timing around the first Chrono, and you do, you know, just getting a kill is kind of good, but that doesn't feel like it's enough.
Looks like Gabby's starting to get active across the map. Grimm's going to be the target. He does go down to Armel, and now Jamesy trying to punish back. They'll get the tier 1 as well. And looks like Jamesy may lose his life here. He's really not as tanky as you would hope. 24 active Rearmor stacks. It will be enough, or maybe not. Armel. No, it can't quite take him out. They will back off. I mean, they've got the tier 1. They got a kill. Now Gabby rotates to the bot lane where they get the Doom off on the Void, and March actually escapes with his life intact. TNC will find something even better in the Roshan. And with Armel there with the Melt Strikes and with KP with all his creeps, it is a very, very quick process.
Not only that, but Armel had a very fortunate double damage rune. So
he does have borrowed time. KP does have Raw if he really wants to commit it, and he will, but there are TPs coming in. Eris trying to help out. Armel is not afraid though, and he will go in and clean him up, and now Eris could be in trouble. Armel not really much mana to play with. He does have the Aegis, so does have a secondary life if he wants to push the limits. They will not, however. Of course, Gabby has the armlet, and he's going for what looks like an Echo Saber up next. Bot lane, they are going to engage onto Jamesy, who is melting to Armel. They will Aphotic Shield him up. Doom will be there on the Abaddon, and now a Chrono. It is pretty darn nice with the Mystic Flare. They'll take down KP on the Beastmaster. They try for March. They've lost Grimms, though. And now it looks like they may want to back out for Cignal Ultra, though. Jamesy is taking a lot of damage off that CK, and not really being too phased by it either. So although it kind of looked good for TNC, they do end up losing out 2-1. And you're starting to see Jamesy on that Timber just a little bit too tanky for Gabby to try and take out.
Certainly is. I think that's going to be an issue for the next at least 5 to 10 minutes, specifically on Jamesy. That's really just the moment when Timbersaw is nigh unkillable. Once that Guardian Greaves is up as well, it's just going to be obnoxious, right? So Jamesy should be able to get a little bit more done.
Eris is down. Armel does find the kill, but it may cost him the Aegis. He will refract up. He's surrounded, though, by quite a few heroes, but TNC is coming in to try and help out. There's the Aegis going. Grimm's Echo Stomp is not going to be there in time. The Roar from KP will push him away, but Armel still copying too much damage. But no, the Glimmer Cape will save him, though. No, Nando. He does find it in the end. Now Tim's just trying to get the hell out of there. And Armel got a little bit greedy, though March, he will find a trade in the form of Grimm's. Can they punish further? Cignal still trying to run away. March, who are you aiming for? He's going after Nando, and here comes Gabby on the CK. Still though, it's a 1-for-1 trade once again, but they do find the Void. And for some reason, they decided to drop a mango tree in the middle of all that. About to hit. Of course, both teams are going to start fighting over outposts. Nice arrow from Tims. But they will still get the outpost. But look at TNC immediately trying to force in that tier 2 tower. Sometimes it's a trade you have to make. Do you want the outpost? Or do you want your tower to remain? They want to try and force a fight. Nando. Dust is going to be there. Armel, he does get caught out, and they caught March as well. But the arrow connects from Tims. Still, they do get the TA kill. That's a massive deal for the side of Cignal Ultra. as they try to chase KP. So they will lose out on that, but they find something even better in the form of Gabby. And that CK just didn't seem to do anything. The Phantasm Illusions were just missing. And Cignal win a massive team fight. They got both the position 1 and 2 of TNC.
Have some really good game sense coming out from Cignal. Just having the dust on hand, popping it right then, allowed them to figure out they were being rotated on. And they just land a really good chrono. It looked a bit wonky when the arrow hit, but everyone else was still outside to follow the damage. Immediately take out Armel, who is the main damage right now. And once he was gone, it was just very easy for Cignal to clean up. So that's exactly what they need to do and what they need to keep doing. Just try to find those kinds of fights. Eventually you will turn the tide to yourselves. You've also got a lot of key items flying out now.
Scan it out. It may be way too late though, and yeah, it definitely is. Roshan is already gone. The Aegis will go the way of Armel, and the Cheese will go the way of Gabby in that bot tier 2. But there could be an engagement up top. They will be fighting over that outpost at that 25-minute mark. Cignal going to try and take it now, and they do grab it, but Armel jumps straight in after Eris. He doesn't find the kill quite yet, and he did use that BKB very early on, but they do get it in the end. Now the Doom on the Timber, not allowing him to do anything throughout this team fight. Where is the Void? Not around at the moment. He's still running in. He has the Chrono. Will he use it though? Raw comes out again with the Timber, but there is the Chrono. He found 3 of them. It doesn't seem like it's going to be good enough. There's no damage output. The Mystic Flare though comes down. They'll find at least the Aegis. Earth Splitter doing a lot of damage, but still Cignal trying to go after Gabby on that CK. They just don't have the damage. They'll go after March instead on the Doom. It's a much easier target. And who's next? KP, the closest target to them. Do they have the lockdown? Jamesy will get in there with the Chakram. TNC still trying to just outrun them. They could try and turn. It doesn't look like they're interested. Melt Strike to Nando, and that's going to be it. That fight, it was a 2-for-1 trade. It was a buyback on Eris and a dieback for that matter on Eris, but it still seems to go Cignal Ultra's way.
I'm sure they don't mind too much. They managed to take out that Aegis. They managed to force out a couple of spell usages from TNC as well. Sure, you expend the Chronosphere there, but you've got a bit of a time where TNC, they don't have the Doom, they don't have the Phantasm. They are a bit vulnerable as well, so you can try to force something out, particularly once Eris is up. He's going to be a bit of your magic damage coming in these fights, and once that's settled, you could probably at least find a pick-off if you really wanted to.
Weakening Charms popping out. Cooldown's going to be lower. Looks like again Armel going into the dire side jungle, being very aggressive with his positioning. He's getting very close to a butterfly now. Of course, you see Nando with that Lincoln Sphere, trying to protect himself from that Roar, or the Doom for that matter. He'll be going for a butterfly up next as well. Ban, just gonna cop an arrow. Won't really matter though, there's no follow-up to it. Cignal Ultra should be able to get this tier 2 tower very, very easily. And by the time they're done, they'll have the Chrono back up, so they could try and force another smoke. Or just defend their top tier 3 tower, which was being pushed in by KP once again. TNC, I mean, they've still got a 9k net worth lead, but I'm not sure how concerned they should be. Gabby, as a CK, it does tend to drop off throughout those later stages of the game, whereas the Void just doesn't.
It's gonna be a bit rough. Like, he is rushing that heart, and we have seen CKs go for that heart, somehow still end up having minimal impact. Right now, Gabby's damage is still pretty darn good, and he is still managing to at least burst down his squishier heroes. he isn't doing so well up against Jamesy anymore, and even Nando, if you don't stun lock him, he's basically just he has enough time between time walks to still fight. So you really got to watch out. There is a slight timer here for TNC. On that CK at the very least, Armel should be able to maintain relevancy into the late game. So he's going to be the bulk of the damage as this game goes on.
We do have another
Unpause, yeah.
No, he's definitely in the right to unpause. I'm not saying that. Anyway, it's fine. They've waited long enough. This game is over. Tim's cleans up errors. I'm not sure if it's worth casting this, John. There's not really much going on. They are going to go straight to the tier 4s. They don't want to make this a spectacle.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
That's TNC to the majors. So last major champs do manage to secure that last spot. Rather anticlimactically, I have to tell you, the result might have been different. We'll never know due to circumstance. Cignal,